right, and welcome to the TSG Multimedia video podcast for October 1st, 2013. This is John sitting here with
Dan,
as always, and we have Dan's hand in the picture on something I don't recognize.
This is the frame of a Kato RDC, real diesel car.
Right.
I took it apart so it was easier to see the lights, because that's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, this idea for this podcast came from a podcast subscriber named Arthur, who was asking about the lighting in a Kato RDC when it's on DCC.
Okay.
Now this one doesn't have DCC. This one is just straight DC stock from the factory.
Okay.
So what I wanted to show first is how it works when before it's had anything done to it, basically.
Okay.
So as you can see, it has two LEDs, and there's actually two on each end. The reason I'm holding it is because when I apply power, it's going to take off like a jackrabbit, and I don't want it to fly onto the floor.
That could be fun to watch.
Yeah, well,
Watch you put it back together, more like.
yeah, no, I'd rather not. But anyway, there's the sort of amber-colored one is for the headlight. Okay, this has a little gizmo that sits on top of it that routes the light up into the actual headlight on the train.
What's the other one?
The other one, the pinkish one, is actually a red light. That's for the backup light. And how RDCs are basically double-ended, okay? They have a cab on both ends.
Yeah.
So the idea is when the car's running, whichever end is forward has the headlight on, and whichever end is in the back has the backup light on.
Got it.
Red light, like tail lights on a car, basically.
Yeah, got it.
So, and on DC, the way it works is the little board picks up power from the track, and because LEDs are polarity sensitive, depending on which way the polarity is set on the DC power, only one of these will light. Okay?
That makes sense, yeah.
So this is going forward, and there you can see the amber light is on. And now if I change direction, it wants to go the other way, and now the red light is on.
Sure is.
Alright, so on DCC, without any decoder in it, what will happen is this.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, well, that's the noise you get on DCC when you don't have a decoder in the model, because the motor is vibrating subtly and very quickly with the rapidly switching current.
It looks like it was jerking around a little bit, too.
Yeah, it's trying to, I don't know what it's trying to do. It looks like it's trying to move somehow. I don't know why it's doing that. But
Dude, turn it off. It sounds like it's going to blow up or something.
yeah. Anyway, so that's with no decoder. The problem is when you put a decoder in here, and there's Digitrax makes a decoder specifically for the Kato RDC, and there's also some information if you dig around on the TCS website of somebody putting one of their decoders in one of these things. And the problem is that the function leads on a decoder don't change polarity. They're either on or off. Okay, it's DC power coming out of the decoder to the light, but it never switches polarity. It's always the same. So what'll happen is if you just hook up this little circuit board here to one of the outputs on the decoder, what you get is either one or the other light will come on, and the other one will just be permanently dead.
So you have to replace the whole thing, don't you?
No, I found a way to fix it, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So this is the bottom of the light board after it's been removed from the RDC. And these two contact strips normally are in contact with a couple of copper strips that are mounted to the model, and that's how it gets the track power.
Right.
And then if you notice, there's these two little screws.
Yep.
These screws don't hold anything together. There's no mechanical reason for those screws to be here, but I discovered that this is actually a fairly cleverly designed little circuit board. And what these actually do is complete the circuits.
Right.
And if you notice, there's another hole right here.
Yes.
So what I discovered is if you take these two screws out, and be very careful because these little screws are very small.
They really are.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Now the circuit's not complete.
Right. But we take the screw out of this hole and we put it into this hole. Just one of them. We only need one of them.
Oh, now it's going to be?
Well, now I got it all out of alignment here. Here we go. Yeah. Now what this is doing is I figured out that this is actually your common right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be the blue wire on the decoder. And here and here then become your attachment points for other functions from the decoder. So this is the headlight. So this would be the white wire or the yellow wire, depending on if it's front or back. And then this one will be some other color because this is for the backup light.
So you basically just rerouted the circuit.
Right.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So I'm going to actually hook it up now to a decoder and we can test it out and make sure that it actually works. I filed a couple of notches in the back of the circuit board so I can have a place to route the wires. So I've wired these to a decoder, and the blue wire is connected here. And I have a green wire, which is one of the function leads. I think it's the function number 1, connected here. The wire's actually coming through the board from the other side, so it might be a little hard to see, but that's where it is. And the white wire for the headlight is over here. The other thing I did was to remove the copper contact strips from the end of the RDC so that there's no chance that the track power is going to hit the circuit board. If you didn't want to take the copper strips out, you'd need to tape over them with some Kapton tape. Okay, so I've finished installing the headlight assembly into the RDC. This is actually a different RDC than the one I started with, but it's pretty much the same otherwise. I've actually put a Lokesound decoder in this one. This is an older Lokesound 3.5 that I had laying around, and I just managed to squeeze a dual 50 ohm speaker in here. But anyway, that's what I really want to talk about was the lights. So as you can see, the headlight is now on, and if I change direction, then the other headlight comes on.
Yeah, this one turned off.
That one turned off because now it's going this way. And now we'll put it back so it's going that way. And then what I have is I've assigned a function button to control this red light. Here it is.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on the
Let me turn the headlight on, off.
Oh, there it is.
See, so I now have independent control of this red light.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have independent control of the other red light back here. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Can now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can control all of these lights. You can even have both of the red ones on at the same time if you want, because I have them assigned to 2 different buttons.
You can have the headlights on too if you wanted?
Well, you can have one headlight on.
Oh, so you can't have both headlights?
Well, actually, no, I take that back. If I programmed it differently, yes, you could. I don't have it programmed for that right now.
Yeah.
But because they are actually on separate functions, yes, you could have all the lights on at once if you wanted to. I don't know that it would make any sense to do that, but you could. So,
only if you were doing an episode of someone who didn't know what he was doing, driving the locomotive around.
Well, sometimes they do actually leave the headlight on when they're going, at least on some locomotives, when they're going backwards, but usually when it's dim.
Yeah, I think they use it as a tail
kind
light,
of like a tail light.
But it's always dim. I've noticed that on some DPUs that we've filmed.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's basically what I wanted to show, was that by rewiring that board, that you can then have independent control with DCC of your red light and your headlight, and then you get the best of all worlds.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So whoever Arthur was, there's your answer.
Yeah. So thanks, Arthur, for that question, and because it was something that I wanted to figure out for myself anyway. Since, as you can see, I have a couple of these things.
Yeah.
So.
And it just goes to show that we're always asking for emails and feedback and all that stuff. There's a reason for that. And this is one of the reasons. It gives us good info for what people want to know about or what people want to watch.
Right.
So, oh, wow. Anyway, so we'll have our audio podcast on the 15th as usual. And join us again next month for the video podcast on the 1st. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks.